When I step aboard this boat, there is always, when I arrive and when I leave, it's always the same, which is to stop and just kind of admire how sexy this boat is. Yes. Hi, I'm Patrick Smith, Australian, and I own a Grand Soleil Plus 65LC. It's been such an invigorating thing to have a boat like the Grand Soleil because its performance means that you just spend so much more time sailing. So for me, the last boat that was of a similar length, you needed 15 knots of wind to sail well, and nothing I love more than slipping along at wind speed of 5 knots on a boat like this. It's just fantastic. In terms of, is there a small detail that I fell in love with? I think the big detail is design, Italian design. The physical form is just magnificent, and you can't help but love Nauta Design's work and how refined it is. So without a doubt, it's some of the big picture stuff that really made me fall in love with the Grand Soleil range. I was very lucky to spend an inordinate amount of time in the fine-grained detail of design. So is there anything about this boat that's particularly me? I think there's actually an immense amount of this boat that's particularly me, and just the refinement of bits and pieces. So this is a very zen version of the boat because I sail it by myself, and so I guess the configuration of the sailing equipment here is very much that. There's very little rope on this boat. If I was talking to somebody about how they might like to move to Grand Soleil, I think the strength of what I found with the brand is, firstly, the people are great to work with, and the team have been really flexible, and it's been a wonderful design and build experience. But most particularly, it's just such a sexy boat to sail, and there are a few boats that sail as nicely as this, so I'd have to advocate, if you enjoy sailing and have a penchant for great design, Grand Soleil is a fantastic brand. I was so involved in the build process that I suspect I was like a serial pest to the team at Grand Soleil. I was very involved in lots of details, the fine grain, and spent a lot of time flying over and seeing the boat in development. And the art was very responsive to all the sorts of changes, and as a consequence, we've got a boat that is exactly what we were looking for. I think when I reflect back on the entire build process, it was spectacularly good fun to reach at the very end of it with the boat assembled and see the reward of all the effort that's gone in, and to do it in partnership with a lot of the tradesmen who were just delightful and I got to know. So that bond that I actually ended up making with that team was a pretty special part of the build process for me. The experience of building with the team at Grand Soleil was fantastic because they were so flexible and amenable to the things that we wanted to do. And so when we look around the boat, from the design of the wheels to the layout and even some of the fine grain elements below, they were very accommodating within the suite of the things they did. And so yes, there's a lot of this boat that reflects our specific desires and needs for the way we cruise. I think the thing about Grand Soleil owners is that they have a respect for performance and a desire for that, but also a great respect for design. And so if you enjoy Italian flair and speed, these are magnificent boats to have. The 3 words I'd use to describe this boat is slippery, sexy, and super. Why sexy? Just look at this thing, it's a sexy boat. I think for me, having spent a good portion of last year sailing it, it is the absolute beauty of just being aboard this boat, slipping through the water. Usually no one on deck because my wife is downstairs working, and that solitude, slipping through the water is something that, you know, is just a delight that I love.